Hi friends, and welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Brenda. This is my sweet Oliver, and if you are returning, you guys are the best. So with all of that being said, let's get to crafting.
Okay, DIY number one. So I'm going to take this wood egg. I think I got this from Amazon. You could use any egg from Dollar Tree. And I'm going to use this Walmart chicken. I'm going to paint them white. I'm going to paint the comb on the chicken with the red and then the tail and the wing with my black. Then I took this contact paper from Dollar Tree and I cut a piece out. I'm tracing the tail with it, and I did the same thing with the wing. Cut those out, and then I'm using my Type Bond Quick and Thick Multi-Surface Glue. I'm just going to lay it or put it all over the tail as well as the wing, and then I'm going to add this contact paper just because the contact paper is removable. It's not very permanent, and that's why I'm going to add the glue as well. Then I'm going to take my little finger cutter here and I'm just going to cut around the little excess that was overcut. Then I created these words with my Cricut, and I'm going to go over them with my black chalk paint. If you don't have a Cricut, you could use stickers or wood letters, whatever you have on hand. So then I'm going to remove that stencil vinyl and remove all the little pieces, which there was only two. And then I decided to do some distressing with this Distress Oxide ink, but I wasn't liking the way it was coming out. So I decided, well, let's see what it looks like if I use a baby wipe to kind of smear it. And I wasn't quite sure I liked it or not. I kind of went on to the next step just to see what I was going to do. Then I took my Tite Bond glue and hot glue here. I'm going to glue the chicken to the egg like you see right there. And then I decided to go ahead and just do my regular distressing like I normally would. And then I took this burlap ribbon and I'm going to glue it around my egg, making little pleats in the back so that it looks ruffled. I've been doing this recently on a lot of things. I just love the way it looks. I just love doing this. But once I got that all done, I'm just using my hot glue, as you can see. I'm going to put a hole in it, a hanger hole, because I realized it didn't have a hanger hole and I was going to need one. So I'm using my big mouth crocodile here to create a hole. Then I decided to go ahead and take some of this red burlap ribbon that I have had in my stash for a while. I'm pretty sure it came from Dollar Tree. I'm going to go all the way around this and make a second ruffle. This was a little bit bigger ribbon than the burlap, and I just thought it would give it a little more, something a little more interesting. So once I was done, I took some twine and I cut a pretty big piece. I thread it through that hole. I'm going to tie it together right above the ribbon here. I'm going to just tie a knot. And then I am going to put some tape around both ends. I'm going to tape them together. And then I'm going to take some beads that I had in my stash and I'm going to thread them through. Now, the red ones were a little smaller. It was kind of hard to get them to go through. So I have these mini needle nose pliers that Kathy Jo had given me, and I just kind of use that to help pull that twine through the holes of those beads. And then once I have all my beads on there, which will be any second here, I'm going to tie a knot right above the last bead there. That way it holds them in place. And then I'm just going to take my ends here and tie a knot. I usually do this a little differently, so I had paused there for a minute because I'm like, wait, and I didn't want to have to go through rethreading all those, so I just tied a knot on the end, and there it is. I just love this. I hope you do too. Let me know in the comment box below.
Oh, Oliver, you are just so sleepy. Oh, look at him. He goes, what? What? You said my name. Now watch this. Oliver, do you want a treat? Oh, you want a treat? Do you want to go bye-bye? Want to go bye-bye? You want to go for a walk? Oh, you like walks, huh? He likes walks. We don't give him walks very often. We need to do more walking. I need to do more walking. Yeah, I do. Oh, anyways, I hope you guys are enjoying this video. We are in the middle of June, pretty much out of tornado season. Thank the Lord, because I hate tornado season. But you know what? God is amazing, because this year, normally I get very nervous. Anytime we look like we're going to have storms, I'm nervous. I can't sleep. I'm awake. But you know what? The peace of the Lord has been on me this year, because there's been even times where we're on a tornado watch. Normally, if we're under a tornado watch, I've got everything together. I've got it all in the shelter. We are ready to go. And this year I'm just like, you know what? I've got stuff together. Things are ready, but I'm not going to worry. I'm not going to panic. And I've just had that peace. So I just thank the Lord. And I think that sometimes we just need to let go of that and just give it over to the Lord, right? Anyways, but I'm excited. We are truly, 5-6 days away from summer, from the first day of summer. So that's always exciting. And yeah, I love it. I love summer. And I did not realize how much I loved warm weather until we moved here. I was born in Alaska, lived up in northern Idaho while I was growing up, and then moved over to Oregon. And so I've always been in the cooler climates. And right after we moved here, I remember going out to the shop to spray paint or, cut some wood or whatever. And I would just be like, oh, this is like heaven to me. This warm 80-some degree weather with the sun shining in September and October. When we first moved here, we moved here in September. And I remember it was October. I'm running around in flip-flops and my shorts because it's so warm out. And I'm looking around and I'm laughing because there's all these people that have lived in Oklahoma probably all their lives, probably born and raised here, and they're wearing jeans and tennis shoes and boots. And I'm still running around in shorts and tank tops and flip-flops. But that's because I'm so used to, 82 degrees for me is summer. For them, it's like cold. It's fall. Anyways, but I realize now that I really, really love the warmth in the summertime. And I could definitely do without snow, except for at Christmas time. Give me snow in December and I'm fine. But anytime after Christmas, it can go away and the freezing cold can go away. I'd be happy. Unfortunately, we live in a place where we do get freezing cold weather. We get a little teeny bit of snow and ice, but not like northern Idaho. So I am thankful for that. But anyways, I'm enjoying this summer. I hope you guys are enjoying your summer as well. And I hope it brings you lots of warm, sunny, cheery days full of barbecues and picnics and time spent with friends, just sitting outside on porches and sipping lemonade or iced tea and enjoying it. So before we continue on with the video, I always like to take this moment to welcome you that are new and invite you to hit that red subscribe button if you enjoy home decor on a budget. I do a plethora of things. I do themed DIYs. I do farmhouse, which I love. I haven't done enough because I just feel like, I know a lot of you love it and I love it too, but I don't feel like I've done enough farmhouse lately. But I don't do a lot of thrift flips, and the main reason why is because I know that you can't necessarily find the stuff that I find, and so that's why I don't do a lot of thrift flips. I do a few once in a while, but let me know if you're interested in seeing more thrift flips. I can do more. I know that what I'm making, you may not be able to create because you may not find the same kind of thing. But anyways, you just let me know. So anyways, if you like all of those, hit that red subscribe button, become part of our YouTube family, and say hi in the comment box. Let me know you're new here. I'd love to get to know you. And then for all of you that are returning, you guys, you just amaze me and I appreciate you so much. So with all of that, let's continue on with the video.
Okay, DIY number 2. So this one, I'm going to take one of these round gift boxes from Dollar Tree. I'm going to remove that little flower from the top of it. And then I'm going to paint the whole outside and I do paint most of the inside with my Waverly chalk paint in the color Plaster. And I did have to do 2 coats to really cover up all the floral colors. Then I'm going to take my tacky glue here, and Aleene's tacky glue. I'm going to use some of this faux leather ribbon that I got years ago from Dollar Tree. I have not seen it at Dollar Tree for a long time. So if you're not able to find this and you want to recreate this, I originally was planning on painting the rim of this box with my hazelnut color, and then I was going to do the same thing on the top of the box. I was going to put the lid down on it and then trace where the end of the lid was, and then I was going to paint the top part of that box hazelnut as well, so it kind of looks like a trim. But once I had my leather all the way, or faux leather all the way on, I'm just going to do the same thing with the top of my box. So yeah, I'm just going to do the same thing with my leather. And once I have that all on there, I'm going to, I guess I'm not done. One of the things I lost my train of thought. Okay, so I'm just going to get that on. I am going to put some Mod Podge on the front of my box. Now, when I did this, I did make sure the seam to that leather was straight in the back, and then I'm going to add Mod Podge to my box. That little picture there of the cow, I got that. It's rice paper from decoupagenapkin.com. I think I did a picture here a month or so ago from this, and I still had this left over, and I thought I'm going to add this to my box. I just think this is so pretty, and so I'm just going to add it to the Mod Podge there, and it was starting to dry already because I had to trim off that bottom piece. So I'm just going to add a little bit more Mod Podge here, and then I'm just going to make sure it's all laid down into that Mod Podge, and then I'm going to go over it again with some more Mod Podge just to give it that protective coat. I did put a little bit of the Mod Podge on the bottom, so it kind of curled under. Yeah. Anyway, so once I was done and I let that dry, I decided to take my hazelnut and my little chip brush here, and I'm going to go around and distress the whole box. Now, I've had people ask me where I've got these chip brushes before. I got them right after I started my channel from Plaid online, plaidonline.com. I don't know if they have anymore. I know right after I ordered mine, nobody could find them. They were out of stock, and I don't know if they've ever replaced them. So you can always check Plaid online if you're if you're wanting to know where I got them, or if you're wanting to see if they still have them. So I'm just going to continue distressing all the way around. And I just kind of distressed a little bit over the edge of that picture. And then I went ahead and distressed the bottom part of this, the lid to the box. Now, I was going to actually set the box inside of the lid on the bottom, have it on the bottom, but that picture was too long. So instead, I decided to just put glue on the top part of the lid and set the box right on top, making sure that both seams of the leather were in the back matching. Then I had these finials, and I think these came from Hobby Lobby. I'm using my miter shears to cut that little piece off. Now you see how I've got it at the tip, because if I go all the way inward, it will cut it at crooked, and so you'll have a little piece sticking out. So I've learned that using the tip and just kind of pushing down and then pulling it off of the miter shears and twisting it, that helps cut it even. So I'm going to paint all of those with my Waverly chalk paint and the color plaster. Once they were done, I went ahead and took my hazelnut and just did some distressing all around those finials as well. And then once they're dry, I'm just going to take my Titebond multi-purpose glue here, the quick and thick multi-purpose glue, my favorite glue. I'm going to glue those onto the bottom of my box. I'm going to add some floral foam and then my favorite boxwood greenery. I'm just cutting the picks. There's like 3 different sections. I'm cutting each section, and then I'm just stuffing them all in to my floral foam. You guys, I absolutely love how this came out. I think it is so pretty. This is one I'm definitely keeping. You guys, I have to quit doing Farmhouse because I want to keep them all and I don't have room, but I just love them all. It's so hard. So I'm going to make a 2-loop finger bow. I wrapped my fingers twice, come around and pull tightly. I'm sorry I didn't slow that one down for you guys. I usually do. But I'm going to fuzz off the fuzzies that was on it, and then I'm going to glue this to the front of my box. And there it is. And that's all I did to that. I absolutely love this. Oh, it is so adorable. You have to let me know what you think about this one as well. Okay, it is a time for a celebration of your recreations. And we have this beautiful gazebo that Terry made. She made hers a little bit different with her roof. I just love it. I think it's beautiful, Terry. Oh my goodness. And Debbie, I love all of her patriotic pieces here. They are all so pretty, Debbie. Thank you. And then Renee, she is always busy and she's got all these fun, cute little crafts that she is making. Thank you, Renee, for sharing these. And I appreciate all of you ladies that share your photos with us. But if you'd like to share one, you can send pictures to my email address that's listed there, or you can send them to me through Instagram or Facebook Messenger. Okay, DIY number 3. Now, you guys, I really had to cut this one down. The next two were kind of long. But I'm going to start off by taking this sign from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to remove that trim piece as well as all the paper from the front. And I removed the hanger as well. Once I got all that paper removed, I'm going to spritz it down with water and I'm going to let it sit. I put a decent amount of water on it too and let it sit for about 5 minutes to really soak in. And then I use my paint scraper to just scrape all that mess off. I just love this. It's such a nice feeling. And then once it was done, I'm going to make some little marks. I wanted to make this each stripe to be about 1.5 inches apart. So I'm just making my little hash lines here so that I know where to lay my tape. Then I'm going to take this washi tape. I almost said wasabi tape. Oh my goodness. And I'm going to lay it across, and then I'm going to paint it with my Waverly chalk paint in the color crimson. And then I'm going to paint the trim with my black chalk paint by Waverly as well, which is called ink. Then I took this 4x12 piece. I think I got this from Temu, and I measured, I think it's about 6 inches. And I'm going to cut with my box cutter here, and I'm going to keep cutting until I'm able to cut all the way through. And then I'm going to paint it with Waverly chalk paint in the color Plaster. Once it was dry, I'm going to take this brand new, adorable Chalk Couture transfer. It's called Barn Hair Don't Care. And I got this in just as I was starting these projects, and I thought this was perfect because I know I was going to do farmhouse. So I'm going to fuzz it with my fuzzing cloth about 4 or 5 times. If you're not familiar with Chalk Couture, it is a self-adhesive silk screen stencil, basically. We call them transfers. And we fuzz them so that they don't pull up the paint when we're done. So I'm going to use the colors Meadow, Saffron, Camel, and Black with my chalk paste, and I'm going to go over the flowers and all of the hair. And you'll see me pull up in between that so that the chalk paste doesn't dry on the silk screen, because when that happens, it doesn't give you a nice image. But if you are interested in Chalk Couture, I am a designer. I do have a link to my page in my description box, which if you're on a TV, you have to be on a computer, a laptop, phone, that kind of thing to get it. But it's right under, to get to the description box, you go right under the title, the heading. You'll see more. You click on more and it will give you more information, and all my links will be there. But I am a designer, so we have some great deals. Unfortunately, I think our prices just went up a couple of dollars, but I still believe that the Chalk Couture, the Club Couture, I believe is still $21.99 a month. You get an exclusive 8x11 transfer with 3 different chalk pastes to go with it, and a surface usually. And that is a fun one to start up and try it out with, to get your feet wet and to see if you like it. If you do enroll, you do have to be enrolled for at least 3 months before they let you cancel. And then we also have a members perk, which is $20 a month, I think, and it gives you 30% off of anything you buy, plus a $20 credit every month. So anyways, you can check those out. The links are in my description box. So once I had that all done, I took these reed bamboo sticks that I get from Amazon, and when you get them, you guys, you get a boatload. I've got enough of these to last me forever. But I'm just going to cut the ends at angles with my miter shears, and then I'm going to glue them on. Now, after I got the top ones glued on, I'm like, why did I not paint these first? And I'm like, oh, well, I guess I'm going to have to do it this way. So I just glued them all on to make the shape of windows, and I'm just using my Titebond multi-surface glue there, and then I'm going to paint all of them black being very, very careful. I did have to do a little bit of touch up with my red, but you know, I just love this sign. I think it is super adorable. So once I had it all painted, I did paint in the middle strip and then um, and then glued that in. I was smart on that part. And then I took some of my favorite braided jute cord that I get from Amazon, and I went around my little um, sign there with it. And then I also took it and used it to make a hanger, which I just did a loop, and I'm going to staple that right on. And then I'm just going to take this ribbon to make a little shoestring bow. It's nothing fancy, just something simple, because that barn I just think is so adorable. And then I'm just going to cut the tails at an angle, which is called dovetailing, and glue that right to the top. And there it is. I absolutely love this one so much. I hope you do too. Let me know in the comment box below. Okay, DIY number 4. So again, this one was a little longer. I have seen these on Pinterest and I've been wanting to make one, so I decided to go ahead and do it. So I'm taking 3 of those wood hanging plaques, the small ones from Dollar Tree. I filled in the holes with plaster. I'm going to paint one ballet slipper, one with hazelnut, and one with Snow White. Once they were dry, I took this little wood piece and I'm going to cut it at an angle. I'm just using my little square ruler, whatever you call it, to help me with that angle there. I'm just going to cut it off with my scissors. And then I'm going to paint it with Folk Arts Summer Porch. You could use any yellow color that you have if you want to recreate this. I have a heart there from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to paint with my crimson. I did paint a couple more hearts with my ballerina slipper and a couple with my ink black color. I took this oval piece from Hobby Lobby, painted it with my ballet slipper. This is a 3-inch wood round that I got years ago from Amazon in a package of them, and I painted them plaster. Then I have these coffee stir sticks, and I'm going to use 3 of them, and I'm going to cut them all in half. I think 3 or 4. I don't remember now. Yeah. And then I'm going to paint them all with my black, which is ink by Waverly. Once they were all dry, I'm taking a small paintbrush here and I'm taking my whiteboard. I'm just going to make some little cow markings on this, just kind of eyeing it, not just, yeah, just doing something that felt natural. And then I'm going to paint that all in. On the next one, which is pink, I'm going to do more circles and I'm going to paint those in. And I didn't care if there were complete circles. And then I'm going to do the same thing with my brown one, and the pink is a pig. If you haven't noticed, the brown is going to be a chicken. So then I gave them some little teeny eyes, and then I made some snouts on the round and the oval. I'm going to cut out some ears with some felt, so I used black, pink, and red felt, and I'm just going to cut out, well, the red one I didn't do ears, I did a comb, which I'm going to show you now. And it was kind of big. I had to cut it down. It was a little too big. I was just trying to eye this stuff. But yeah, it was fun. It definitely was fun doing these. Then I'm going to glue the black ears to the cow. And I'm going to glue the pink ear. Oh, I forgot the snout for the cow. I decided I wanted to give it a little more rustic, so I went over it with a baby wipe and some hazelnut paint. I couldn't tell which way it was. I should have probably had it the other way, but oh well. I glued that on, and I'm going to glue the hearts down for feet on the bottom, and then I'm going to glue the ears on for the pig, and I'm going to glue them just kind of a crease, and I'm going to glue that so that way it looks like it's bent over. And then I'm going to add the snout for the pig, which look, I didn't realize my paint was still wet. Yeah, I had to touch that up. But then I glued the feet on, the little pink hearts on as feet to the bottom of the pig as well. Then I'm going to take this red heart, I'm going to glue it on to the chicken. I'm going to take that little, I don't know what you want to call that. It's not really a triangle, but that piece there, I'm going to glue it on top of the heart. Then I'm going to take some of my Type Bond glue. I'm going to glue them on. I had glue all over the place, you guys. I had all over my finger, all over my sign. I was a mess. But anyways, I'm just going to glue these on to look like chicken feet. And then I'm going to glue the comb on to the back of the chicken. I'm just kind of scrunching it in the back just to kind of give it a little more detail. And then I'm going to cut out some hands for the cow and the pig and the chicken. And you'll see those in the final reveal. This was so long, I had to cut it way down, and I didn't want you to have to sit through me cutting all that stuff. So I took these 3 plaques from Hobby Lobby, and I painted them all plaster. And then I went ahead and did some distressing with my hazelnut. And I distressed all the edges and then did a little bit in the middle as well. Then I took some of these stickers from Dollar Tree. I put some Mod Podge on each one of those plaques, and I'm just going to use these stickers to spell out oink on this one, and then for the chicken, cluck, and for the cow I did moo. My husband told me I should have put like oink on the cow and moo on the chicken and cluck on the pig, just to be funny. That would have been a lot of fun. But anyways, I'm going to glue the hands onto the signs. I glued those signs onto, or the plaques onto each animal. And then I'm going to glue some jumbo Jenga blocks, using my tight bung glue and hot glue. I'm going to glue 3 of them together side by side, and then 1 on the bottom. And this is going to be going to help it stand. I did paint those to match the back of my animals, and then I used wood glue and hot glue. I'm going to glue them to the back of each one, and then they will stand. And that's all there. Look how adorable those are. Oh my goodness. I'll put a link to the Pinterest Etsy account that I found these on in case you want to check them out too. I just love these. I hope you do too. Here is the final reveal. This was so much fun. I'm glad you guys said farmhouse, because I really felt like I was in my element when I was doing these. But anyways, there's the final reveal. I will be back again on Thursday with, I think I'm going to try and do some summer decor. I'll see how that turns out. And yeah, so with all of that, I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.